Excellent. Welcome. This is our moment to thrive in light. And so let's gather in and let's just take a breath. Together we take a breath of light, of love, and let's hold it and let this build because as we exhale, we are going to let all that no longer serves be released from our system, from our aura, and just notice just that one simple breath. You may choose to do that again and just take a moment and hold that breath because this is our center. It truly opens our hearts. It truly allows us to connect with our soul. And so just a quick moment here. I know we're going to be doing a lot of womb work, but see if we can feel this energy in our heart. Send it to our brain. Yes, let yourself feel your energy of your soul in your brain. Oh my goodness, I love this. And you can work on this more, but for now, we are going to begin. I am so pleased that you are here and joining us today. Christel Hughes is a multidimensional seer and a healer, and she's been doing some wonderful work on seventh dimensional hologram, holodeck, as she loves to call it. And what I find fascinating is that this is stuff, this is tools, not just stuff, forgive me. This is things that she does in her own life for her own self. And she shares it with us now. She's truly dialed in on so many multiple levels. And we're so grateful that she's here with us. Christel Hughes, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing?
Thank you. Well, I'm so excited. I don't know, every time it seems like a surprise to me that I get so giddy in this space, but I see so many familiar faces and, it just feels warm. It's very warming to my heart. And you're right, this is very important what we're doing here, and it's also very timely. I think that one of the things that we recognize deep in our guts is that we want to do a beautiful job for the divine. We want to bring light through us. We want to offer it up. We want to make a difference in the world. And that topic can also bring up a lot of emotional energies as well if we don't feel like we are meeting the standards that we have set for ourselves or that our mind has set for us. So I want to just be here. I want to create this sacred space for everyone, that it is safe, that we're honoring. And in no way are we pointing out something that you need to doubt yourself about or, again, feel ashamed about. There's no magical place that you're meant to be other than right where you are. So, but we are going to be talking about different energetic dynamics. Loren's going to bring that out of me that have been stirring up in the field. And again, the timing is so important because the divine has really shown us that the world needs more of that light, and we want to know how to be the best vessel for that light to come through, because we do want to be lighthouses. And so with that, yes, Loren, thank you for having me, and everyone, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And I just want to share as we open. I want to have those in our group, please drop a word in our chat.
Mm.
How are you doing? Because it is roller coaster for
Mm.
me. And things like this, experiences like this totally light me up and bring me right back to center. And so I know that things are changing so quickly. But one thing that and before we get started, Crystal, I just want to check in with you because I've been reading lately, and I know you're really into Ayurveda and Hindu astrology, Vedic
Mhm.
astrology, right? That's like something that you use in your life, and it's so important. And what I've learned recently and that I want to share is that, wow, the Yugas, okay, we're all thinking the Great Golden Age, the Yugas. Technically, we're still a far thousands of years away from that next great golden age when we
Yes.
literally will walk with gods again. Like when we've heard the story, Gods walk among us, that was the golden age. And I believe that was Lemuria. And we can look back at our world and our planet and see these beautiful structures that were created outside of our own technical knowledge right now. That is reflective of the golden age. Things get wiped out, so we don't remember it. But what I want to say is that right now, like this is really important. We may not feel it looking outside at that world. We are through the thick of it. We are the Kali Yuga, the worst Yuga, the darkest Yuga. Jesus came right before Kali Yuga to instill on our planet love that we never forget. And so right now we are, so if the Kali Yuga is a clock and the golden age is 12 o'clock and the end of the Kali Yuga, March 21st, 2025, is that 6 o'clock. We are now at like 7:30 or 7. Isn't that exciting? So what does that mean? That means more light is coming. We are able to bring it back and love in that way. And so I think we're already starting to feel that. And I believe that all of us chose this time to incarnate, saying, we'll go through the darkest of dark, we'll be there so that we can witness this beautiful return. And so I get emotional because I truly feel it. And
Hmm.
so as we do this work, Crystal, I just want to give you a moment to reflect on that. Like we are through the thick of it, the shit of it, I want to say, right?
So important for us to really band together. There's a vibrational wave that has come through very recently with the planets lining up, and they've done this multiple times. The planets are beautiful beings that are here to serve us, but they're also supporting this overall greater Kali Yuga in the sense that they're trying to bring it up to purge.
Mm.
And so if we can pay attention in very distinct ways of how our body again is a vessel and can be the greatest hollow vessel, meaning that we don't allow ourselves to be triggered by the wave as much as we have been, ego getting in the way, personas getting in the way, those kinds of things. This beautiful wave of light, and literally, Loren, I don't think that you know this, but I just got back from doing 10 straight days of fire ceremony with Goddess Durga, and literally sitting by the fire, sweating by the fire, purging, pouring offerings into the fire for all of us, for all of us. Sacred ceremony is very important right now. And to also make sure that, in that sense, in the right way, utilizing the light to serve our energetic field, to serve our hologram. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that, and also the urgency that we've been feeling as light workers and wanting to be in the sacredness of the womb space for specific reasons right now.
Okay, thank you for sharing on that. And we're going to go deep into this. And I saw a quick comment come through that says there's no space for fire ceremony in an apartment in New York. Uh,
Ah,
there could be like tiny bowl. Very carefully, don't set off smoke alarms. But wow, maybe just lighting a candle is good enough. All right. And I see Lauren. Is it Loren or Lauren? I see another Lauren with the spelling Ryn. And I just want to shout out, hi. Is it Loren or Lauren? Loren. Lauren. Okay, all right. Cool, cool. All right, well, let's get to it because we are going to do some personal readings as well. And so we're talking about waking in the womb. So there's this creative center. And so we're going to look at this divine emergence through the womb. So, Christel, can you share more about how um, you had a divine emergence of your own? What was that process like for you as you began to work in this multi-dimensional realm and the holographic realm?
Yes, and it is important to go back and just kind of trace that because again, some people are at that space that I was at back then where I felt, oh my goodness, am I doing enough? I want to help. I want to encourage people. I just really wanted to be of service to the divine. And in getting my clinical hypnotherapy degree, and I was a behaviorist, that took me down a certain path. I mean, I would see clients in person, but around that time, now we're talking about 2001, 2002, when I started having my awakenings. And I wasn't quite sure that what people were telling me was true. I had literally my healer who was saying, you're going to be seen internationally, you're going to be teaching, you're going to be coming up with original, content and IP and all this stuff that scared me to death. It really did, because I had a debilitating fear of public speaking. There's no way that I could even do something like this. I mean, if I was chatting with two or three people, I was fine and I would come to life. But as soon as you put me in front of 10 people, I would close off. I would get, blotches of red on my skin and my throat would close and I would just be terrified. There was underlying fear that I had within me that was from childhood that wouldn't allow me to be brave enough, to be courageous enough, to communicate from my heart, for fear that I would be hurt, that I would be punished, that I would mess up somehow, that I had to do it right and it had to be perfect. And so going through the hypnotherapy allowed me to really understand how the mind works. And again, during that time, I found this healer that I would work with, and she was such a beautiful seer, and she was so specific. It was scary. And the things that she started saying were happening. But one of the things that happened around 2002 was I was actually starting to do more meditation. I would consciously astral travel. So it's almost like taking a lucid dream and then going to the astral plane and seeking out places. And one of the places that I would go to, and I would do my hypnotherapy on myself on these planes. And what I would do is I would sit in front of the fire. I would imagine the hearth and I would sit there in front of the fire. And I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for my third eye to open. I was waiting for my clairvoyance to come, because this was something that she had predicted for me, that I had this ability, but I didn't understand it. I didn't really know what clairvoyance was. I didn't know when I would experience it. If I had experienced it, I had more of an ability to just have these intuitive hits. But as I would do this daily. And of course, there was moments of frustration because nothing was happening. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't really see anything. But this one day, I was sitting in front of the fire at the hearth. And all of a sudden, Divine Mother came to me and she said, "You're sitting in my womb."
Mhm.
I said, "What is that?" What's going on here? Wait, because I was hearing this, I was sensing the softest, most nurturing energy, lovely, peaceful energy coming over me, like a beautiful, warm hug that just made me feel so safe and so secure. She said, "You're sitting in my womb." And she said, you need to go deeper into your own heart and you need to connect your mind and your heart. And she said, I'm the cosmic mother. You need to also connect with the earth mother's womb. And so, of course, the first question is what? How? But as she said that, there she goes. She was gone. So I didn't know how to do this. And again, I was highly left brained. So everything was about process for me. And how was I going to understand this? How was I going to learn this? And so I started again doing this and incorporating going through the heart space, going through the heart portal. Now, as I would go through the heart portal and I would astral travel and I would go again to the hearth, I would see the fire. And then what started happening is that I could start to see what we now know as the fifth dimensional realm. At that time, think about that, 2002, were we talking about fifth dimension? Not really. We weren't talking about dimensions then. We were barely talking about hypnotherapy back then. Now it's very common, but I would go in, I would explore. So I'm understanding, okay, this is the fifth dimensional realm. It's a golden grid. Okay, maybe that's going to help me when I connect with that. Maybe that's going to help me get connected to the earth's womb, which it did. That was the place that I could go to connect to Mother Earth's womb and to the Schumann waves, which I started incorporating into my healing work that I was doing. Then I got through this other portal from the fifth dimension. I got to the sixth dimensional realm. And in the sixth dimensional realm, something really cool started happening. I started understanding that the sixth dimension was about the balance of masculine and feminine. Back then, I was doing a lot of programs that had to do with masculine and feminine, working on relationships. I created an ebook called Be Love to Find Love. Things started happening during that time in my own life, coming into a place where I was preparing myself. I was preparing myself to be more deeply connected in my divine feminine, my right brain, my creative side, and starting to understand that the sixth dimension is about that balance of masculine and feminine energies. But one of the things that happened when I was there sitting in front of the fire was cosmic mother would come, earth mother would be there, and then the goddesses started arriving. Out of the flames, I would see different faces of these goddesses, and they would start to teach me. And you'll see that as we go deeper into this, we understand why we're incorporating these goddesses. Now, think of the goddess archetypes as a frequency. Each one has a gift. It's wanting to gift you. When the goddess enters your world, it's entering to bring that frequency as a personality trait, if you will, to take it on, to be the embodiment of that. And so these different goddesses came. And at first, I didn't know who they were, but I knew enough to write down. I would take my notes and I would start to research who are these different goddesses? What are they talking to me about? And the first goddess that came to me was the goddess of realms. She was talking to me about these different realms. And again, validating and confirming for me the dimensions. And then that was the beginning where I would start to go to this seventh dimensional realm, starting to understand at that time that if I put my clients in the seventh dimension, after I connected them to the fifth, moving them through the sixth and into the seventh dimension, that's where I would do all my intuitive reading for them. I would place them on the holodeck. The holodeck, think of it as a beautiful platform, a glowing structure, if you will, but it's luminous and it's always moving. It's effervescent and it's radiant. But when I would put someone there, they would turn into a hologram. And so that's when I started becoming a multi-sensory, and now we would say a multi-dimensional intuitive. At that point, I still hadn't gotten to the eighth dimension or the ninth dimension. Now I know a little bit more about it. But what I wanted to share with this is it's so imperative to really understand the meaning behind sitting in the space where you're visited, you're held, you're comfortable. You really are safe with the Divine Mother, and you're safe, and creation comes from the womb space. So we want to practice that. We want to bring that in. We want to practice that. And when we're in the womb space, certain energetic dynamics happen within our aura, they happen within our physical body, and they happen within our hologram. And that was one of the keys that really helped me take it from, again, thinking, okay, I've been told that I have intuitive abilities. I've been told that I'm a healer. I've been told whatever it might be. I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to do this, whatever you might have been told by someone who's a seer or a psychic. But it's important for us to be able to get there, to be able to accept ourselves in that. And again, to not compare ourselves to others, to not rush that process, but to do what we know to do. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that today. Do what we know to do to prepare ourselves. Because again, I believe each one of us organically is in a specific cycle of evolution, but then also that we have our original content, that we maybe will create our own modality, or again, write a book on some specific, from a specific perspective, right? Maybe we are here during this time to be a channel, to shine light, to be a transmitter. It's really vital for us to feel comfortable where we're at in our cycle. And again, to understand the way to access that womb space and what it is and what it does for us in our body. And so, again, you'll see that, this for me, that experience was really enlightening for me, to know that I wasn't alone, to know that I had that connection with Divine Mother, that I was actually nurtured, because my whole life I hadn't really had that connection with my own mother. I didn't feel nurtured. And then the masculine, I was abused many, many years from the masculine, literally from men. I was abused physically, emotionally, mentally. And so again, this is the time for us, with what's going on in the world, to come back into the womb, and also to be able to address any of the fears that we have of being captured, to be held down for a certain specific amount of time too, because that is necessary when we're in the womb.
Oh my goodness, this is really luscious because we can feel that womb energy and Mother Earth's womb,
Mm,
Mother's womb. Wow. Okay. So when we're looking at our world and with so many distractions and things going on, and the society itself keeps us from that. So how does this conditioning of our society show up to interfere this full process that you're talking about?
yes, this is vitally important, everyone. I want you to listen. Pay attention here, because what's happening is, in our mind, literally, our mind, our consciousness, we have layers to our mind. We have a conscious mind, which is logic, reasoning, willpower, decision making. That's what we use all the time. We use our mind. We make a decision. We get from here to there. Then we have what's called the critical mind. The critical mind was made up for us to be able to handle input, to handle information. Information comes in, and what does our mind do? It holds it. It holds it, and it contemplates about it. It thinks about it. And even when someone's listening to us, we can see sometimes they're like, I don't know. You can feel their critical mind, right? especially if you're talking about dimensions and spirituality. A lot of the critical mind will come in. But the critical mind is very important because, again, it holds information for us, and it holds it for a period of about 12 to 24 hours. If that information is for our highest good, that information being held at the critical mind will drop down into our subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind is actually that third area of the mind. The subconscious mind is our subconscious programming. We get that from our parents, so it's ancestral. We get that also from our own etheric template, the outer area of our aura. So upon incarnation, we're bringing in, if you will, karma, right? And so we have these knowns. They're like little grooves in our brain. They're neurological pathways. Our tendency will be to think a certain way. So if we grew up and, let's say, our parents believed that money was hard to come by, that we had to really struggle to get ahead, that it was hard to make ends meet, we would have that in our subconscious mind until we shifted that. And we have the power to shift that. What's happening, though, is it's vitally important for the critical mind to stay strong. We need to have strong minds. There's this illusion almost that when we're spiritual, we need to lose our mind, right? But we actually need a very strong mind. We need to be in charge of our mind, and we need to know what's in our subconscious mind. What are our programs? How are we triggered by certain circumstances, situations? What do we do when we're triggered? When we come up against our own patterning, our own beliefs that we don't believe as our higher self, what do we do? What's happening right now is that the critical mind is being broken down by society, by what's moving through the airwaves, by what we would call impulsive invasion. We are being bombarded. We're being bombarded and we don't know about it. We're being bombarded and we put ourselves in a situation to be bombarded. So we're not just victims. We have to also look at our behavior, and we have to see, why are we putting ourselves into a position where we would be bombarded, which again breaks down the critical mind that we need to hold energy back, to hold information back. It's a natural process when we sleep that our being, our consciousness, our higher self, lovingly sorts through what we brought in today. Even right now, you have your critical mind confirming and validating against what it holds in its own subconscious, right? So your mind is going, can I agree with what she's saying? Or do I not understand what she's saying? Or this makes sense. Your critical mind works directly with the subconscious. When that's broken, when you don't have the power, the strength to hold your critical mind anymore throughout the day, it breaks down. It's like a broken bridge. And you can't cross the bridge. Everything that was on top of the bridge, when it breaks, falls in. It falls down either to, let's say there's a river flowing below it. Your subconscious mind is that river. It flows in, it dumps everything in, and it dumps everything in at one time. So it's vitally important when we are doing hypnotherapy, especially, one of the main things that we do is we repair the critical mind. And it's something that most people don't really recognize, is that they're already walking around in a state of hypnosis. My job is to, one, get you out of your chronic state of hypnosis and then put you back in it. Because so many people we're seeing, the critical mind is broken. When we are on Facebook, TikTok, anytime, we are putting ourselves in a situation in which we are being bombarded. There are so many bits and pieces of information coming to us, advertisements, this noise, that noise. Noise pollution is one of the number one things that breaks down our critical mind. We have to deal with a lot of noise, even when we're just in our home. Air conditioning, refrigeration, whatever it might be, dishwasher going off, somebody talking to us. These are coming in. Our nervous system starts to get impacted when we don't have a strong critical mind. So, what's happening is when we don't have that strong critical mind, we're being bombarded, we get invaded. When we get invaded, not only are we invaded by noise pollution, we're invaded by, again, what we're seeing, we are starting to accept without, again, using our discernment. We're starting to accept everything. The bridge is broken, everything falls in. Whatever's coming from the outside, we're taking it in. And then we have the job of what? Having to sort through it while we're asleep. Some of us don't even get proper sleep because we're so bombarded because we're on our gadgets right before bedtime. We're not honoring ourselves. We're not being and creating a safe space for ourselves. We're not utilizing the power of the silence, the power of what we would think of as being in that womb. And so, what we're doing is we're taking all this information, we're weakening our mind, and then we have other invasive frequencies that come in, energetic frequencies and waves that, again, because we're in the Kali Yuga, like Loren said, and also because right now, what we talked about is there's certain circumstances that are being created. The planets are being used right now to create this because there needs to be an upheaval, a purging, a releasing, and a letting go. But if we bring this back around to creation and the creation process, imagine most of us, if we want to be creative, what do we think about? We think about, ooh, I'm going to go to my little space. Maybe we have a studio and we want to be in our little cozy place. We want to be in the womb. We want to create that womb space so that we can feel the frequencies, that we can acknowledge our intuition, we can acknowledge what we're channeling, what we're drawing down, the transmissions from our own higher self. And we want to be able to bring that in. If our critical mind is broken, we have a very hard time hearing our intuition, feeling our intuition. Our acuity, our sensory acuity, is very disturbed. And we also have a distortion process that's happening. So we have to pay very close attention. And this is one of the things, this is one of the reasons, if you've been following along with me, that I've brought the hypnotherapy back. Again, this isn't something we can just choose not to do. We actually need to make sure that our mind is very strong to be an accurate, intuitive, a beautiful, strong channel for the messages that we want to bring through, and to also reset ourselves so that every day we're coming back to the truth of who we are. We're not distracted, we're not overwhelmed, we're grounded. We are creating our own womb within our own hologram. We have it within ourselves, but also that we truly are paying attention to our own cycle. Where are we in our evolutionary process and the importance of that?
Okay, well, you have actually assisted us because there's this, like you said, there's this general consensus, get out of the head and into the heart. But what you're saying is we cannot forget the mind. And so, wow. So this connection with the mind is how we develop the intuition and enhance that intuition. So, when we're talking about the womb and working with the womb, we have to do a cleanup job within ourselves. Otherwise, we won't be in the womb. The cleanup job is in fixing that critical mind through hypnotherapy. So that is really interesting. And so, what does hypnotherapy do to help
Yeah.
us get into the womb?
Absolutely. So when we work with hypnotherapy, and if anyone of you have done my activations that Loren you so graciously put on your site and support with, you will recognize how I bring you down. I bring you down to a certain state of being, and then I bring you out. What's happening right now is we're slipping into a space, but we never come out of it. We don't know when we're in our computer, our heads in our phone. We have to literally pull ourselves out, because that portal of whatever it might be, some kind of social media platform or website or AI, whatever it might be, social media, we're stuck in there. We go into a portal, we go into that world, and then we think that world is real.
Mm,
And what's happening with our mind, our cognition, we're taking snapshots, snap, 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 snap. We're constantly taking snapshots. Now, if you think about this, especially with TikTok or Reels, you are now pulling that in to your own brain, right? You're pulling it in, and you have stacks. It's like, think of it as stacks, like magazines stacked up. And each of those magazines, as you open it, has like hundreds of images. With the snapshots, with the images, what you also have is emotion.
mm,
Subliminally, you are being triggered constantly. You see a billboard, you see something flash, like I said, an advertisement or something, you're taking a snapshot and you're holding that in your mind, unless your mind is very strong and says, boop, I don't need that. But think about the battle that you have every day with that. You have to constantly hit things, right? If your critical mind is broken, you can't do that. You literally don't have the power to do that. And so we have to restore. We have to utilize the special access point in the heart to trigger the connection with the mind. The heart space, when we go not into just the sacred space of the heart, but when we go into the innermost of the heart, the innermost temple, that is a portal where we are, it's like accessing gateways. We're accessing these, the powers of the higher realms, and we're consciously drawing that to us. So like I said, we have cosmic mother's womb that we're all in. We're in the soup of it, right? We also have mother earth's womb that we can consciously connect to, but we also have our own womb. But we don't access that by going into our sacral chakra, the womb area. We go into the innermost of our heart, and that's where we also access our mind. Okay? So, with this, one of the things that we have to allow when we go into the womb space, and you can be guided, hypnotherapy will guide you into a specific trance state. When you're guided into that trance state and you access the portal and you're in that, that is a safe, strong, protective space where you can heal the critical mind. But one of the things that we're finding is that people are rejecting that space. They're rejecting that space. It would be like if I said, oh, you're going to have to do silent meditation. That's the only way to enlightenment. It's not. But if you're not wired for that, if you will, right? If you're not one of those people that's like, oh, I love silence, that's not your way to enlightenment, right? But there's something really powerful about being able to be in the womb, to place yourself there, and also to be captured. What do I mean by that? To be captured by the womb space. When we allow ourselves to be captured, this is about being worked. We are being worked by the womb energies, by the creative frequencies, right? These are magical frequencies. These are divine energies, and they're wanting to bless us. Now, most people, again, they've been functioning from a place where I need to be free. I need to be out, or I need to be so spiritual and just be in the flow. I don't want structure. I don't want to have to do. I don't want discipline. That's too masculine, right? But we need this balance. And again, if we feel that we're captured, it brings up trauma sometimes. If you've ever been in a situation in which you weren't allowed to have freedom, maybe you had a father that was very disciplined. Maybe you grew up in a strict religious family. The subconscious then almost rejects the womb. You don't want to feel contained, but you need to be contained. An example of this too is not embracing the seasons, literally. When winter comes around, do you let yourself be inside in the space, going through that season, that cycle? Do you try to reject that? Do you leave maybe in wintertime if it's cold where you are, and you try to just go someplace that's in the sunshine, right? Because I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be in. So we have to make sure that we're really paying attention to what the traumas are that we have, because what might happen is it might prevent us from actually going in and really gaining the power of these energies that want to supply us with the nurturing frequencies that are going to help us become strong, but also receptive. There's a field of consciousness. It's the womb field. Okay. And so when we're in this womb field, we have to find our own field and our internal field that allows us to process. So, past disruptions, we have to make sure that they're just a gateway to help us. The womb helps us complete internal processes. If you get intuitive hits and they don't come full circle and you can't make meaning out of them, this is one of the reasons why we're not fully being held by the womb, in the womb space, finding our own intelligent field within. So that's really what we mean going into the womb, having this practice of being in the womb. It's a creative center. It has the subtle Akashic energy, that space that we need. We don't want to fill up every space like we do every moment of every day with information. We want to leave room, don't we? We want to have that space. We want to be held in that. It's luminous, it's organic, it's natural, it feeds us, it sustains the clarity, it aligns us with our purpose, it activates beautiful dimensional powers that we have, and powers that we've brought in that are set on a timer. There's certain cycles and certain times that we have astrologically within our own system. And we want to be prepared. We want to know when those are coming. And this just allows for a beautiful, brilliant phase, if you will, to be coherent. So we're not functioning from, again, some kind of invasive impulse. We don't have to rush, but we need to pace ourselves and make sure that we actually are in the proper cycle. We know what that cycle of evolution is. And so we're not so much thinking about ascension as much as drawing the higher self consciousness in, letting it descend within us so that we're elevating our consciousness. And I want to say one other thing, because there is this urgency. There's an urgency. We are being pulled, we are being drawn into the womb. And you feel that it's a quiet insistence. Your soul's knocking on the door of your heart and it's saying, hurry up, get in here. There's things for you to do. But the reality is because of the invasive, kind of impulsive energy that our brain is now geared towards, we think that we have to jump ahead and we start projecting. We start projecting instead of acting in the now and acting from the now. We're not disciplined enough to sit with the whole process. And so, therefore, we fragment. We have parts of us that are in the hopeful, wishful type of thinking. Oh, so and so told me that I'm, this master healer and that I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that type of healing. But we're not actualizing that. We are looking in the future for the someday, maybe when that's going to happen, where we need to actually be here. And so we're kind of growing restless with it. And we also, again, then shame ourselves for not being there yet, for not having arrived yet, feeling like we're behind in our spiritual progress. So I want you to know, again, you do not need to feel guilty about this. You need to actually now pay more attention to what do you need to do energetically. How do you get back into cycle? How do you heal your critical mind? How do you allow yourself to be captured, to be contained, and to feel okay with that without wiggling out of it, right? How to be in the structure, to be in the context and be organized so that you can, right? So that you can play your role.
We're so ready for that. Absolutely. We all want that. And so, how do we know when we're actually there? And then how do we be captured by that womb space? What does that
Yeah.
mean to be captured
Mm.
by it? We
It's
want that.
just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. One of the things that we start to experience is, what if we allowed ourselves to not always think of ourselves as like the clay that's trying to be molded by the divine, but actually recognize ourselves as the vessel already molded? When we want to jump ahead, we have to say, wait a second, if I'm the vessel, what is the divine pouring into me? Instead of constantly, chronically thinking about the next thing I have to learn, the next thing I have to do, the next thing I have to try to be, the next certification. And when we're the vessel, we put more attention on how we're holding our body, how we are holding our mind and our consciousness, how we are allowing ourselves. And now, this is just very specific work to reprogram the subconscious mind. We already know we're feeling the call. We didn't know necessarily that that call was to the womb. We didn't know it was actually to go deeper inside, because again, we now have a different baseline, don't we? Our mind has a different baseline. I was just talking to someone the other day and we are kind of giggling about this. Do you remember how many phone numbers we used to just have in our memory? We could hold everything in our mind. We knew our best friend's phone number, we knew our parents' phone number, right? We knew all these phone numbers. We don't anymore. What do we know? How to look on our phone to get the phone number. We have that different baseline now. So, what are we using that space for? The space of our mind. What are we using it for? What's happening here? What's going on? I don't want to spend too much time with that, but what's happening is, again, that baseline has been reduced to being able to handle the overwhelm. And therefore, it burns our time. It takes up our time. It takes up our energy. It steals our vitality. What if we could take that energy, that time, and what if we could actually sit and become very clear with what we're meant to be doing, how we personally channel, how we express the light? Anybody on here wondering what their greater purpose is? What's my greater purpose? What am I here for? I hear that all the time. We're not looking for our purpose. We know our purpose. Everybody has dharma. What's that purpose? To channel light. To channel light as information. But how are you channeling the light different from how she's channeling the light? What light as information comes through you? It's unique to you. How do you find that? So there's an awakening process that happens in this womb space. But one of the things that happen as I go back to my story that I find fascinating is that when I was sitting in front of the fire with Cosmic Mother at the hearth, and Goddess Lakshmi came, and Goddess Lakshmi actually ignited this fire within me. She literally sparked. She took a piece of the Cosmic Mother's flame and she lit this spark within me. When that happened, something shifted. I started manifesting in a different way. Remember, I told you, we start out manifesting from that fifth dimension. Most people manifest from the fifth dimension, right? Out of time, out of space, little bit of structure. We sit there, we manifest. When we invite the masculine and feminine energy, we get more of that sacral chakra energy. There's passion behind the creation. There's passion. We don't just think, oh, we're manifesting something for the future. We start to bring it in. Our left brain and right brain works together. When we start to activate the ignition point within us, we start to manifest from the seventh dimensional structures. And so we have this glow to us. We start to have this radiance to us. We get this kind of beautiful energy that's a momentum. It's beyond the motivation of desire. It's beyond the manifesting of, intuitive gifts, right? Because we want to see, we want to hear, we want to know things. But we don't want to just have these cool intuitive powers, right? We're beyond that. It's not some kind of party trick, right? We really want to utilize this for a reason, to help people, to shift consciousness, to raise consciousness. I mean, please, the world needs us bringing the light through. And so we get animated. We have a feeling that we can't do anything else. So there's a certain order to things. As we move from that fifth dimension and we start to move to the seventh dimension, as we utilize the power of hypnotherapy, and really start to access the subconscious. We get used to space. We get used to the Akash, this beautiful space, and we feel comfortable in the space. We feel comfortable in the nothingness. And then we start to recognize, wow, I have many fragmented parts. And so we start to draw in the vibrational frequencies that support us in healing those parts of us, healing the personas, these aspects that are fractured off from the divine, the ones that have the doubt about who we are and what we're here to do, the ones that feel we're incapable. What if I do it wrong? All of these questions. And then again, now we're in the Lakshmi energy, the goddess Lakshmi, and we have what we call this glow burn. And I can look in, I can see. Do you have the glow burn? Have you been ignited? Because again, the passion, the feeling of I need to do more, I want to do more, there's something brewing inside of me. That's to get you into the womb. When you're in the womb, you can be ignited. It's a structural process as well, energetically. And again, it's in a specific place. So that's what we want to do. We want to be in this place. We want to get that ignition. We want to draw the power of the flame, the elementals, and to bring that into our being, to ignite that while we're in the womb. And we'll have then the motivation, we'll have the consistent discipline. So we won't be in procrastination anymore. We won't be in confusion anymore, right? How many of us just have this confusion? Well, I could do that, but then I could do that. Oh, I've got another vision, and then another vision, and another vision. How many of us have journals full of visions? But what do we do with it?
Mhm.
We need to anchor in to be okay with the structure of the fifth dimension and the seventh dimension, but also be in the flow of that sixth dimensional frequency in order to bring out, to flow that out, to bring something from the unmanifest into the manifest, to bring it into form. Okay.
You are bringing up so many important, valid points. We work with people all the time, and there's an undercurrent of like, I know I've got to do something. And then on part of it, it's like, what is it? Maybe there's not a strong
Mm.
desire. And then we're missing that glow burn that you talked about. So how do we activate that? How do we ignite that within our womb? How do we get into the womb? How do we know that we're working from there? And I know you're going to do some readings for people to see where we are in the womb, but um, how do we know if we're working from that womb
Yeah,
space?
it's a process. This isn't something, it's to be guided into. It's a process to be guided into. Waking in the womb came out of this because I started recognizing this winter. I remembered. I remembered sitting in front of the fire. I hadn't thought of that in years. But when I tune in and I say, okay, what's coming through? What's needed right now? What do people need? All of these memories. I was literally sitting in front of my fireplace this winter, and I remembered my awakening. And I remember being in Cosmic Mother's womb. So there's a specific process to get into that space of the heart, to open that portal, to make your way from that fifth dimension through the sixth to the seventh dimension, simultaneously being able to activate the parts of the physical body. We have to heal the nervous system to a certain degree. See, the divine's not going to just activate something within you if your structure isn't strong. It's like trying to, have a fire hose, right? Drink from the fire hose. That's not the way it works. And this is why so much of my work has to do with the physical body ailments as well, emotional, mental, spiritual, right? We can't discount. So the way that I've done it, I can teach people. I can teach you how to do it that way. We can draw the goddesses in, and there's different goddesses for each phase. When we start to work with Goddess Bhuvaneshwari, and we start to work with the Akash, she's the goddess of all of the realms, physical, spiritual, cosmic. If we're going dimensional, don't we want to be with the goddess that's in charge of the dimensions? Yes, we need to know that. It's a frequency. And so we want to invite that in. When we're working with our fragmented mind, our fractured critical mind, who can help us cut through that? Goddess Kali. She helps us cut through that. She interrupts the interruptions, you see? And so, again, Goddess Lakshmi, when we want to bring the flow, ignite that glow. It's a burning desire to bring creation through us. I can't help myself. And it's true. I have felt that. I've lived that for years. There's no stopping me. It doesn't matter if I'm in a relationship, I'm not in a relationship. Nothing stops me from my purpose. Nothing. I eat it, live it, breathe it. It is me. And this is the point. We have to be. And then Goddess Saraswati, what does she do? She helps us put it into words. She helps us bring it out. The light becomes words, right? We communicate it, we live it, and we communicate it. So this is the process of waking in the womb. We literally will awaken, and we'll have the base level, the structure, the foundation. We'll know where to go internally. It's an internal process. We know where to go to access that beautiful creative life force energy.
We want that. Who wants that? Every one of us would love that. I think that's a missing link for me
Yes,
personally. Yeah.
yes.
And so let's move into some readings now, Christel, because we want to know. We do want to know. So we're going to quickly, let's see. So the best way to get through all these beautiful hearts who have questions, we're going to just have you unmute and then we'll probably mute you. Just we're going to go rapid fire through this, all right? So I'm going to ask Tamara to unmute. And here's the question. Please ask the question. What dimension is my mind-heart connection currently set to for creating fifth, sixth, and seventh? Okay. And
Yes.
which goddess is supporting me? Tamara,
Mm.
you're up first. Hello.
Hello. Hi. What
Hello.
is, oh, love to both of you. What is say the question once
That's
more.
okay.
What is,
I can get
She
it.
can
I can
she
get
can
it.
read you. She can read you.
That's
Okay.
okay. So I'm tuning into your higher self. Everyone, I'm tuning into higher self. Now, what we're looking at is right now you're at that fifth dimension, reaching to that sixth dimension. That's the level of creativity that you're at. One of the things that we're looking at is Goddess Kali's coming in. You're still working with your personas and trying to bring the fractured pieces back together, right? To come into wholeness. When we look at this, there's an ancestral pattern on your mother's side, and they're saying literally 70 generations back. And what I'm seeing there is a not good enough. This is not good enough. There was a level of perfectionism that you had around you when you were growing up. We have to watch out for that, because you also have had to hold yourself to that standard. And when you don't live up to that standard, whatever it might be, in the way that you consume food or in the way that you speak, right? There's something there still about perfectionism. Okay. So that is the pattern we have to work on with you. Make a note of that, because in waking in the womb, in the program, you're going to be able to focus in on that and shift that and heal it. Okay, we want to move you from that fifth dimension up to that seventh dimension and have you start to create from that place. Okay,
Yes. Wonderful. Ooh,
thank you.
yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tamara. Wow. This is the most fun part because Christel is so spot on. Let's go to Elaine. You can unmute yourself. Hello, Elaine.
Hi, hang on a second. I thought I unmuted. Hang on.
You
You're
are
unmuted.
unmuted.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I can hear you.
Hi.
Hey, all right, let me tune in. Now, you're already creating from the sixth dimension, okay? Now, in the sixth dimension, though, I still see a little bit of the masculine left brain coming in. It looks like claws. It's trying to like grasp at things, okay? And with those claws and with the grasping, you never feel like you're really grounded in something that's potent, right? Like it doesn't have enough substance to it. Ooh, you might get an idea, but oh, it's not quite feeling like something powerful that you're proud of, okay? When we look at this, I'm seeing a past life, 12 past lives ago. And what I see is something where you had these amazing ideas, but you didn't have like the resources to bring it into fruition. You had to rely on other people. So you would kind of pitch your idea, if you will, to them. They were so old school. They didn't get it. They didn't quite understand. So it led to disappointment. We have to work on clearing the disappointment. We have to have you come into your own again, like a feeling of sovereignty. Sovereignty is about authority, right? In this lifetime, you are your own authority, self led authority. Okay. So that's what we want to work on. And looking at the goddess for you, I'm really seeing goddess Lakshmi around you. I see a lot of kind of pink, beautiful flowers that are in your aura. So you're just about ready for that ignition point. We just have to work a little bit on the left brain. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Love.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like she gets that. Janine, hi. You can unmute. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay, so taking a look here, so I'm seeing between sixth and seventh dimension. Excuse me. Now, what's happening here is it's like a feeling of being lost. Like you're lost in the sixth dimension, you don't know how to get to the seventh dimension. And I'm seeing that there's already like a level of creative maturity. So I'm looking at a past life and I see a mastery type of energy. I see an elder energy as well. Almost feeling like this is some kind of mystical school that you had in a past life coming into this one. What we're looking at here is confusion as the emotional energy. That confusion needs to be dealt with. And also, there's a misunderstanding. There just seems to be like a misunderstanding. How can you not bring your mastery from that past life into the now and have it be substantial? Okay. So you're trying to figure this out. This is what we're going to help you with. Not only getting into the womb, but then also making sure that you have that level of structure to it. How do I put words to this? So you're accessing, I see Goddess Lakshmi on your left and I see Goddess Saraswati on your right. Both of those goddesses are working with you right now. Okay. We've got to bring clarity for you because you already have a degree, like a really deep level of awareness in your heart, but we've got to put words to that.
That so resonates. Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
and who was the second goddess? I got Goddess Lakshmi, and who was the other one?
Saraswati.
Could you spell that for me?
I don't think I can.
Sarah,
I could probably type it
Saraswati.
out.
Sarah Schwartzme, is that it?
Saraswati.
Swear. Okay. Thank you
Sarah,
so
like
much.
Sara.
Okay.
Thank
Swati,
you. It's in the chat.
Swati.
Yeah, it's
Thank
in the
you.
chat. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you. Okay, now we have Carrie. Hi, beautiful Carrie.
Hello,
You,
Christel.
Hi. Okay, are we ready?
I am
Let me
ready.
in. All right. So what's happening right now for you is it's like you've gone back to the fifth dimension. Like, oh, I've kind of traversed this higher realm into the sixth, but then I feel like I have to go back. You're having to go back. You have a part of you that's like, oh, I've got to go back. I missed something. You keep thinking you're missing something. And so, with that idea, oh, I see it's a genealogical issue. Now, we're looking that this came from only 4 generations ago. This idea that you haven't gathered enough information, that you don't know enough yet. Okay. So, this voracious appetite of needing to learn more, gather more. Instead, again, remember I said you have your own organic IP, your intellectual property. This is yours and yours alone. Trust that. Okay. So we've got to heal that part of you that thinks that she doesn't have enough information yet. She's missing something and keeps going backwards to get it. Now, Goddess Kali is the one that's coming in for you. And again, it's because that part that's missing something, going back, turning around and looking for it, right, keeps you fractured from that wholeness. Okay, so we are going to go in and we're going to repair the critical mind for you, but also we've got to work on doing some work with that aspect, that persona. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I resonate with that.
Yeah. Your higher self said it.
what an angelic voice you have, Carrie. You are angelic. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you because I've worked with you before and you said the same thing about my voice, not Christel. Okay, Loren. Yes. And so just thank you again for confirming that. I
Back
appreciate
around.
that.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. We are moving right along. We have so many people that need help. We're going to try to get to as many as we can. So, Andrea, you are next up, Goddess, and Christel is going to read you now. Hi.
Okay. All right,
Hello,
Andrea,
Judy.
get your energy. Okay, so higher self is saying between the fifth and sixth realms is where you're working. So much of what's happening is your masculine doesn't feel worthy of your feminine. Right? So your masculine is like, oh, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Can I really bring down this information? So we have to work for you on understanding and really grasping that what information is coming from your feminine, the powers that you have from these past lives. This isn't new for you. You've done this before. You're qualified. You're overly qualified already. Your masculine doesn't think you're qualified, right? But you are. Okay. So, with that, we have to work on acceptance. We have to work on manifesting. Goddess Lakshmi is around you, and I see her on your upper right side, just right to the meridian line. Okay. So, we want to work on the masculine and work on making sure that you really are in acceptance and that your masculine is equal to your feminine. You do put your feminine on high, and that's good for channeling because it does come through first the feminine channel, but your masculine is just as powerful and he can handle it. Okay.
Got it. Thank you so much, love.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Lori now. Hi, Lori. And we are not hearing your voice, but that is okay.
That's okay. I can do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll do it
Okay.
right now. Okay. All right, Lori. So looking at the dimension, ooh, you actually go right to that seventh dimension. And I see you kind of dancing around in that seventh dimension, but it's not grounded in the seventh dimension. Okay. So you're still kind of fluttering and floating around, and you might be playing with ideas, or you might have a lot of visions or things coming in. You might have a lot of energy because I'm seeing like a pouring in. It looks like it's coming into the right side of the head, which again, that's that feminine creative side. It's pouring in, but then it comes through and then it just kind of disperses. It's not landing. It's not coming into form, right? And again, we want you to feel the energy of the strength of the power, the potency and the quality, and that it's valuable. Okay, it's valuable. So we want to put words to that. We want to make it into something. We need a context around what you're creating. Okay, and so that's what we're going to work on now. That goddess energy for you, you've got goddess Lakshmi, and behind you is goddess Saraswati. Okay, but goddess Lakshmi is like right here within you. Okay, thank you.
Wow, very cool. Okay, we are going to come back to the readings. All right, Christel, I know that I want to give you a moment to talk about this program, Waking in the Womb. Waking in the Womb is a 4-week journey. Let's talk a little bit about that so people can really understand what this process is and how you're going to work with them. And we'll go back to do a few more readings, rapid fire. But in this process, there's this one-on-one attention like you're doing here with the readings. Share with us what that is. And I've actually dropped in the chat that link so people can follow along if they wish.
Yes. So this really is about, again, this process to be guided in. Now, one of the things that is so important is for you to learn how to get there yourself, right? So again, I'm going to guide you through it. You'll have this in a way that you're going to be able to revisit. But we have to work first on these aspects of you that are fractured off. When we have these fractures, when the critical mind's fractured, there's nothing that you're taking in is settling deep within. The nervous system isn't processing as a new neurological pathway, right? It's coming in, it's going out, coming in and going out. So I want this to feel like a soft, beautiful, loving container, a space for you where you're going to be able to access these places and get your own structure down. So you will be able to monitor, okay, I'm clicked in. We're igniting that glow within you. We're drawing in the frequencies of the goddesses so that you're able to actually feel that. You're deliberately pausing so the information can come in for you as a channel, channeling your own information. As light, it's going to turn into your beautiful frequency and then transmit that. Now, that could be focusing on something you want to create, like a project, or again, gathering information and doing research for a new modality that you're going to create, or something that you want to share. Maybe it just is that you're wanting to incorporate this into your daily life, new intellectual ways of communicating and expressing and sharing the brilliance of spirituality in your own way. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be like you're taking on a whole new, way of getting employed or something like that, right? No, but some of you will be using this because it's important for you, and this is my mission. I'm a healer, or I'm here to create some sort of platform where I'm educating people, where I'm offering this, where I'm giving and sharing advice, where I'm helping people grow and expand. Maybe this is something that allows you to move from the degree in which you're already intuitive to these higher dimensional realms, expand your sensory acuity as an ability, as a power within you to be consistent with that and to gain your clarity. Okay, so this is what it's all about, and being held in that womb space. So what we're doing is we're actually going to create moments of awareness and being together. Some of this is going to be on the 7D holodeck, We're not seeing each other, but we're going to attend the event there, if you will, virtually on the holodeck. This is a sacred space you've heard me talk about, where you become a hologram. In order to help your mind during the time when we're remotely on the 7D holodeck, I create a holographic hypnotherapy guided journey. Okay. So for 4 weeks, there's a couple of things happening. One of the first things is literally the 4 weeks of the womb field attunement. One, you have to find your inner field. You have to know how to get there. You have to enter the womb, right? We're going to call on Goddess Bhuvaneshwari. She is the one that literally holds the living field. She's the goddess of the realm. She's the queen of the worlds. And she's so powerful because she's all about space. She has the capacity to support you in feeling comfortable, feeling good in space, and also recognizing how that space feeds into the creative process for you. Okay. And you can read about that here. But I want you to really understand that this is about entering the womb and pacing yourself and discovering the truth of who you are. It's being in that deliberate pause and allowing yourself to feel what that means, slowing down, being present, being in the truth with yourself. Week 2, we're going to be on the holodeck. And the remote healing activation, we're going to be working on being captured by your own internal process. We each have our way of running processes. And again, this is around creativity, not just creativity of, oh, I'm going to be an artist or I'm going to do this. It's your intuitive art, your intuitive creative process. How do I access my clairaudience versus how I access my clairsentience? How does this work to come in and bring something into creation? We work with Goddess Kali. And with this, remember, Goddess Kali, she is literally going to hold you. She's going to capture you. Okay? You can't wiggle out of it. And again, that might bring up some things, right? It might bring up some feelings of, no, I need to escape. Because if you're afraid, like I was afraid, mine again was public speaking. If you're afraid, and yet your greater purpose, the way that you express that purpose, is to literally communicate it, to teach it, to offer it up, to transmit it. We have to work on that part of you that's afraid. We have to work on the aspect that's doubtful. We have to work on the confused one. We have to work on these parts of us that are scattering our energy. And so bringing it back, containing it, being captured by that process. Okay. Week 3, we're going into nourishment. We're getting our glow burn on. We literally are allowing ourselves to have that ignited. We're going to work with Goddess Lakshmi in doing this, but also the nourishment. We have to feel worthy, right? It's important. We have to feel worthy. We want to feel prosperous in the creative passion, the light energy. And a lot of what we're doing here is also bringing in that beautiful divine masculine and feminine energy. We want them to work together. So again, each of these weeks, we've got that beautiful hypnotherapy guided journey. And those are usually about 40 to 45 minutes long. We're repairing and we're working on the mind while we're also working with the brilliant, beautiful goddess. Okay. I'm simultaneously at a set time working with your hologram on the holodeck, the 7th dimension. Okay. Week 4, we're going to emerge from the womb. So it's like everything that we've done, now we can bring this out. We can practice being it, literally coming into this beautiful divine initiatory pathway, right? We're knowing what we're creating, we're knowing what we're doing. And this is the intention, to communicate that, to write this down, to write it out, or to be in the knowing of it, and how to express what comes through us as an idea, as a vision. And then some of you will implement on that in week 4. Literally, you can create things. By week 4, you can have it created. Okay? So it's up to you how you want to utilize that energy and that information, but it's definitely coming into that place where you're discerning, because your critical mind obviously is going to be healed. Now you're able to use discernment, and you're discerning from this enlightened I am presence. Okay, we want that channel, that light of clarity, to be consistent. We want you to be certain. We want it to be a steady flow through you. And we want you to feel that you're living as your higher self. So important for that. Okay. Now, each week that we're going through these 4 weeks, we're going to have a appointed time that, again, we'll be doing the activations, and you'll be listening to your guided journey. But also during the same week, we're going to have a live transmission call. We'll be on together. It's not necessary that you attend live, but just know that we're going to do this. And this allows us to be anointed, to really bring forth the anointing of the radiant energy. It's called anointings of radiant becoming. Isn't that beautiful? Radiant becoming. What are we becoming? Well, this is a goddess initiation. Okay? We're coming into coherence. We're coming into our sovereign expression. Again, we need to feel that we have support, just like I had, sitting in front of the flames and each of the goddesses coming out, and then understanding what each goddess is there for, how the goddess frequency is serving me, initiating me, and anointing me, literally anointing my third eye, anointing my heart, and anointing the womb space. Whether you're a male or female, doesn't matter. Okay, so we want to kind of sharpen our intuition here. We want to really anchor this. We want to activate that creative intelligence. We want to bring that in, and we want to really feel the divine initiatory path becoming clear. We want to set a stage for you to engage and to bring about these visions, not as something necessarily you're seeing. It could be, but it could also be a knowing, right? It could be a feeling of wholeness within you, a feeling of embodiment, but it's definitely going to heighten your intuition. It's going to bring this stronger connection to your creative flow. It's activating your spiritual gifts, creating that greater consistent level of coherence. Also, emotional stability, mental stability, right? So all the beautiful relationship that you have within yourself for the inner guidance to come through. We want that to be consistent, okay? And we want the full self-expression. We want that to come through, okay? Now, I want you to also feel the radiance. We need to be in this feeling of, oh, wow, I'm radiant, I'm glowing, okay? So as you can see, you can look on the page and really start to see that this is so beautiful, the way that they brought it through, that we have this alone time, right? We'll be on the holodeck for the activations. You'll have the audios to listen to. We're repairing, we're healing. But now we also have this influx of just brilliant, beautiful, glowing, radiant, blissful energy. We're serving our nervous system in the way that we're doing this. We're healing ourselves. This heals the body. What I find so much is with some of these physical ailments is that it's because people don't really understand their greater purpose.
Mhm.
They feel they're in grief. They're in grief. we've come this far and I don't know my greater purpose. I don't know how to express that greater purpose. I don't know how to embody my higher self-consciousness. Don't know how to use my intuition. And so we're grieving for that. And so again, waking in the womb, it's about having this collective, beautiful, brilliant, divine mother energy and consciousness, but also again, working on these different levels, that fifth, sixth, and seventh dimensions. Okay, bringing that in. Now, Lorraine, can I also go in and talk just briefly about the bonus? Do we have time for that?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yes. So this is where it gets really fascinating. Okay. I don't know how many of you know about the Sri Yantra or the Sri Chakra and what that looks like, but think about it as a literal expression of all of the dimensions that exist in all of creation. Okay. Think of it like a mansion. And we have all these levels of the mansion, and we have all these gateways. And imagine that the Sri Yantra has these triangles. Some are pointing up, some are pointing down, some are pointing this side, some are pointing that side. Imagine that we're merging with the Sri Yantra. We're letting it organize our hologram to literally become the dimensional gateway, the perfect balance of the masculine and feminine, the influx and the outflux of energy, right? We've got the vertical and the horizontal dimensional channels. So I'm going to do this holographic Sri Yantra activation. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We're bringing in the higher order perception. Okay? This universe was created in such a glorious way. There's no words for it. But imagine if we take that same intelligence, that higher order perception, and we work at the seventh dimension on your hologram, and we create a template of that. And we're activating that living geometry of divine mother with divine masculine energy. And we're using it to refine your capacity for clarity, specificity, certainty, energetic precision with your intuition. That's what we're going to be doing. Now, what takes this over the top for me is when the Sri Chakra came to me, and don't get confused with when I say Sri Yantra, that's just kind of the flattened version diagram of it, okay? The Sri Chakra is actually what I was saying. Think of like a crystal, a literal crystal in the shape of this temple, okay? And what we're doing is we know that the Sri Chakra, and when I got this, I think it was back in 2002 or 2003 when I got the literal Sri Chakra and started identifying the power of the frequency pulsation, beam of light, pulsating beam of light coming out of the Bindu, the top of the Sri Chakra, right? It's consistent. It's a consistent pulsation. Now, the beauty of this is now scientists can literally tap into the power of the cosmos and they can hear that boom, 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 that frequency tone coming through, and it's a little bit faster than that. Okay. But also, what we're doing in the Sri Yantra activation is that we're bringing in the divine masculine. And this is a Shiva line. So, Lord Shiva, divine masculine energy coming through. In India, there are several temples that have literally been placed, built along a specific ley line. It is approximately 79 degrees east longitude, this meridian. Each of these temples actually also have the same pulsating vibrational frequency. Okay? And so what we're doing is we're going to use this as the templates, bringing them down and aligning them with your spine. Think about each of the 7 chakras. There's more than 7 temples, but I'm going to at least work on 7 of these temples and 7 of the chakras. And we're lining them up for you to become a cosmic antenna. Okay? So we're starting to see the sacred principles of creation mirrored in the Sri Yantra. We're utilizing the power of what literally exists on planet Earth, and we're starting to understand that each of the bindus of these actual temples are magnetic call points. And the magnetism of this supports you in calling forth the exact light as information, as truth that you're meant, the intuitive intelligence that you're meant to channel. Okay. Now, what that means is some of us channel the Palladian energies, some channel the Arcturian energies. We have these amazing cosmic beings that we're channeling. Each of those is a frequency. Imagine now bringing that in and having that lined up with your spine and activated. These little magnetic call points. Powerful, powerful, powerful. I've done it on myself. Okay. So it's so beautiful, but this is brand new. This came through literally just for this. Okay. And then that divine masculine Shiva energy with the sacred creation mansion, if you will, all the gateways starting to open. And then I'm going to chant. I'm going to chant the 1,000 names, okay, of Divine Mother. We're encoding frequencies into your hologram. So this is the bonus when you sign up for Waking in the Womb, that you're going to get this. I've never done working. This is with Goddess Lalita, right? So I'll be chanting the Sanskrit chants, and we're literally infusing that into your hologram. Okay. So you'll have the mantra currents flowing through. You're going to, again, awaken the vibrational frequencies. Okay. So I want you to feel sustained. You're held, you're sustained, you're maintaining that spiritual intelligence. This is, again, a process, right? Everything that we're doing is for a reason. It's for a purpose. It's, it's lovely and it's wonderful, but there's reason behind it. There's a structure to it. Okay. You find working with me, everything has a reason and everything has a why. Okay, why we're doing it. Okay, so you're going to get that sacred remote sadhana, geometric consciousness poured into your hologram. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen, what you're going to become in your radiance, become as your channel, right? And to flow through and to be the offering. Be the offering, whether, again, that's creating something externally or you're working on yourself as the creation, as the vessel, as the container. Okay.
I am so excited for this, Christel. It resonates deeply with my heart as well. And what I love about it is it's quantum, but it's ancient wisdom, right? And I'm crying because my heart is opening because I can feel into that. And this is such incredible work. I do want to thank you for that. And we want this to be easy for people to have access to. So check that out and you'll see there's a link there if you need a payment plan. I think someone else mentioned they went through PayPal for a payment plan. All of those options help us do this work. So we keep on keeping on and get excited. We want to be activated in this way.
Oh,
I'm lit up just listening to it. So it's wonderful. And so it's a virtual experience, right? We're going to be together in this virtual hologram. and I'm looking forward to that. Can you explain when that starts? The week 1, week 2? Do you have an idea of
I
a
don't
framework?
have the date set yet,
Okay.
just because right now I'm traveling, so I don't have those dates set quite yet. But
Okay.
it won't be long from now. It won't be long from now. And so again, we've got the virtual being on the holodeck, and then we'll also be together on live calls. The goddess anointings are going to be live calls. So we can attend those live calls. That's audio only, that's not video, because we need to focus in individually, right?
Mhm.
We're going to be we need to be in the womb.
We
Okay. And we're getting comfortable with that. And so, again, um, we're holding space, we're setting our intentions, absolutely beautiful, and being able to come back. We're coming back into this space that we're feeling safe, we're feeling held, we're feeling purposeful, we're gaining clarity, we're gaining certainty, right? We have structures in place, we have a context in which our feminine is flowing.
Wow,
Yeah.
who is ready for this? Who is ready? This is so exciting and important. It really is. And so thank you for that. This is that deep inner work that we can do listening to those audios, all the things that you have in the comfort of 3 a.m. if we still wake up at that time. But thank you. Thank you for this. Okay. And so we'll see everyone on those group calls as well. Again, you can find that link right here, and I will be emailing everyone who registered for this. You're going to get an email. It's going to have this replay. You can listen to it again. The second time you listen to this, your brain is going to be corrected and defragged so that you'll get more of what was happening. All right. So I promised a few more. We are coming up on the end of our time in this beautiful Thrive in Light community. But let's do 2 more. All right.
Yeah.
And I am going to use my intuition here. And I'm going to say, Annette, you can unmute yourself, goddess Annette.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Blue Ray.
Okay. Are we ready? All right, so
Yes.
tuning in. Okay, right at that in between that 6th to 7th dimension. Okay, so we're working on this. There's this energy like this. It wants to go up. It wants to go up. Now, one of the things that I'm seeing is that there's 2 different dynamics happening within you. And it's almost like you haven't chosen which one to go with. Okay, we need to get a little bit of clarity because I'm seeing that you're still kind of, ooh, let me play with this idea. Oh, let me play with that idea. Your power, the power that you have when you move this creative energy to that 7th dimension is that I see this thing rippling out into the world. I don't know if you're working on your own modality. Are you doing that right now? Coming up with your own modality?
Not really. I just kind of do my own thing.
No, this is a modality. This is something,
Hmm.
okay? This is something that's going to be a little more tangible. Is there a reason why you're doing your own thing rather than putting it into something tangible?
I'm not sure. Maybe just
Okay,
don't want to be
okay.
out there in the world. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
that's
so see? So this is what we'll work on, okay? Because it's not a have to. Even though I say that, it's not a have to, right? But we want to make sure that we're getting any of those personas. I don't want to be out in the world, that part of you, we still need to heal that part of you. You see?
Mm.
Because we want you coming into wholeness, whether you do it or not, right? Actually, that doesn't matter. It's about the stair step. It's about getting that energy to come into that wholeness so that if you did want to, if you were prompted to, if you did feel that next stage of evolution to elevate, then why not? Okay? Why not? So We're watching that being held back. So I see Goddess Kali coming in on the right side, right at shoulder level, but so much Goddess Lakshmi energy for you. Okay? So much Goddess Lakshmi. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Wow. Step into it. I'm excited. I can feel that, Christel, there's more. You've tapped, it's just this one beautiful caller here, but I sense that there's more of us who are so ready for this. It is so empowering. And so this is why this is really exciting. I'm excited for this program. I really am. I'm very excited. It's very quantum. All right. Geraldine, 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 you are our last option, goddess. Hello.
Okay, Geraldine. All right.
Thank you so much.
Hi, you're welcome. Sixth dimension, sixth dimension. Okay. What's happening right here? Sixth dimension. Your masculine is interfering a bit with your feminine energy. Your masculine is twisting things a little bit. Okay. He's going in, and I don't know why he's doing this. Let me see here. Okay, 5 past lives ago, we're saying, right? 5 past lives ago. And one of the things that we're seeing is that your masculine is doing this. It's a form of sabotage, but he's intimidated. He's intimidated by the power of your feminine. All right. So whatever that was that happened 5 past lives ago, this is what's going on. It's showing up in this way. He's kind of meddling. He's sabotaging and he's twisting things a little bit. And it's almost like a treasure hunt, like you're having a hard time finding things, even within your own consciousness, right? Like, oh, I had that download. Where did I place that? I don't even quite remember what that was or the meaning behind that. Okay. The things that come through are so important for us. Everybody on this call, the things that come through, they can be very simple. You might have a part that doesn't think that they're important because they're simple, but they are. Okay. Now, Geraldine, going in and really starting to capture, being captured, your masculine needs to be grounded in that womb. We're going to ground him and we're going to heal him. And we're going to actually make him feel he doesn't need to be intimidated. He needs to be the counterpart. Okay. So in that sixth dimension, then when they come together, they merge in oneness. And now they can move to that seventh dimension. Okay. I see a lot of Goddess Lakshmi there. Your glow hasn't been ignited yet. Okay. So we are going to do that. And Goddess Lakshmi is flooding energy. She's saying, I'm flooding energy through to the feminine, but your masculine's avoiding Goddess Lakshmi, avoiding the flow. Okay. We don't want him avoiding the flow. We want him open to that flow. And she's saying it's easier than you think. So don't try to make it difficult. Okay. How many of us have those parts that like try to make it difficult? It's not difficult. All right. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I really wish we could be here and bring everyone up who wants a reading. It's just not possible at this moment. Forgive us for not making that time available. We hope that you've gotten so much out of this today. Christel, do you want to say anything to those who even resonate a little bit with anything that you said? The Sri Yantra, the Vedic astrology, the womb, all of it. If it resonated, there's something waiting for us there. Can you speak to that as
So
we
magical. Yeah, it's so magical. It's so, I would say welcome is what I would say. This is a feeling of coming back into the sense of heart and of home. Like welcome back into your own womb space that is so brilliant and so sacred. I want you to be in awe of yourself. I want you to feel empowered to be in awe of yourself. And there's no pressure. There's no pressure here. That's the beauty of it. It's like I was telling Annette, there's no pressure to have to do anything. But what does it feel like to actually have these channels open, to be in the embodiment of higher self-consciousness, to have the feeling of certainty anchored in you? It's so gorgeous. It's so glorious. And you deserve that. So I would say, welcome. Come, be a part of this. Let's do it.
I
Yeah.
am so excited. I'm going to be a part of it. I'm signing
Yes.
up. And I'm a host, but I'm signing up because this resonates so deeply with me that we're all going to see each other together. And this
Yes.
is really powerful. So, you know what? Can I put another bonus in here as well?
Yes, I
Okay.
love
I
it.
I really think oh, I'm going to cry. I'm going to offer the authentic voice, speak your heart tone, how to find your
Mm,
authentic voice with this, because once we do this, then learning to speak in that voice is really life-changing for the external world. So that's going to be
oh,
included as well. And it's going to help people
yeah,
feel where they're speaking from. And I
that's right.
guarantee you, you will hear the voice of your soul.
That's
And
right.
that's why I get
Yeah.
so emotional. And
Mm,
can we all see the world that changes when we're anchored fully in the womb,
so
expressing this
sweet.
way? Wow. Okay.
So
Thank you. So
precious.
that's going to be for everyone who registers for this. And we're so excited. So, all right, Christel, thank you so much. Thank you for this. I believe that we both had past lives in this Hindu
Yes.
tradition, right?
Yeah.
And so what a beautiful time for all of us to remember
Mm,
this and to ignite that glow.
yes.
Yes, almost. Come on,
Yes.
let's go. So I invite everyone to check out that link and we'll see you guys. Imagine in the 4 weeks outside after this.
That's
We're going
right.
to be on fire. We're
Yeah.
going to be
And that's it. It's an actual glow. It's
yeah.
an actual, it's palpable. Like you can feel the glowing energy. My dad said to me the other day, he says, you're glowing like you're dewy, like your skin is so dewy and bright and glowing. And I wanted to say, yeah, I mean, what I've been doing, it's working, you know, and it's this work. And this came out of with me being willing to go in, being willing to be in that womb space. Yeah. Not doing,
Yeah.
being in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Kali, the goddess Kali, I want to clarify, it's not the Kali Yuga, it's
No,
the
no, no.
goddess of the womb.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, all right. Beautiful hearts. I want to say thank you for joining us in this Thrive in Light. Thrive in Light, as you know, are these very special sessions where we're live and we come here and we're on a Zoom meeting so we can see each other. It's no longer just a webinar with two talking heads. It's our
Right.
community. In the next couple of months, we're going to be continuing this random Thursdays, most Thursdays of the month. So join us, keep an eye out for that. Plan your calendar to be with us on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Pacific because we just have special connections to make. I think this is so needed on our world right now. And together we are going to thrive and we're going to help boost each other up. So I'm very excited for that. And Christel, thank you so much for being my guest on Thrive in Light. I'm so excited for this. And I'm so looking to join you and seeing everyone there. And Annette, big heart hug to you. I see your beautiful face. I see Geraldine. I see Cynthia, Cindy Lou Who. I see Doris. I see Renata, Lanny, and I see all these other beautiful names. Thank you. Thank you for being with us and thank you for shining your light. Let's get ready to glow, glow in love. Let your love light flow. Thank you, Randy. All right, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful night. Shine that light. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.